There's a moment at sunrise when, if you look directly into the sun, it's so bright that it obscures your vision and it's hard to distinguish the lake from the sky. You've got to pause and close your eyes. When you open them and focus, the horizon is clear. A new day is beginning. The year 2020 has been like that, momentarily blinding with unprecedented challenges and multi-layered truths, but marking the dawn of a new day for our community. COVID-19 has transformed life as we know it, but it also has provided us great clarity about what matters most. In my first full year as president, part of that clarity has been a heightened appreciation for JUF's singular role in our community. I knew that JUF was built to respond in a time of crisis, but this was our year to shine like no other. When hungry children could no longer get subsidized school lunches, we pivoted and delivered thousands of meals to feed them. They are among over 19,000 Chicagoans of all faiths who have received food assistance thanks to expanded JUF funding for food pantries and meal programs. When workers were laid off and needed cash to house and support their families, we swiftly provided them millions of dollars in emergency financial aid. Some 25,000 people in crisis have benefited from emergency cash provided by JUF through our partner agencies, schools, and local synagogues' rabbinic discretionary funds. When healthcare workers required vast quantities of PPE and other support to safely care for the sick, elderly, and vulnerable, we quickly supplied it. We also funded health and safety improvements at Jewish schools, preschools, camps, and human service agencies, enabling them to reopen when the time was right. And when those Jewish schools, camps, preschools, and agencies struggled with revenue shortfalls, we sent them emergency operating support. Then we went one step further. Today, having a deep bench of leadership expertise could make or break an institution. However, accessing top-flight expertise is out of reach for most, especially those small, scrappy institutions that make our community so vital but operate on razor-thin margins. Partnering with major funders, JUF has created a technical assistance program to provide them with wide-ranging, first-rate professional expertise. To navigate the critical months ahead, we're providing help to hundreds of institutions in areas from human resources, financial modeling and employment law, to fundraising, technology, security, and communications. National publications have praised this program as the only one of its kind in the nation, and that's no accident. JUF is an innovator, pioneering programs and modeling leadership for other communities time and time again. But let's be clear, JUF is able to be there for our community because of the extraordinary individuals and organizations who are there for JUF. Actually, these people aren't just there for JUF, they are JUF. JUF is our dedicated board of directors, led by amazing leaders like our chair, Andy Hochberg. JUF is our lay leaders, committee members, and volunteers. It's our incomparable foundation partners working hand in hand with us to assess and meet community needs so effectively. And at JUF's heart is our family of partner agencies. JUF is the healthcare heroes at Mount Sinai, putting their lives on the line to heal the sick. JUF is the caregivers at CJE Senior Life, attending to our elders, and at Keshet, Libenu, and Yachad, supporting people with disabilities. JUF is the workers on the front line at JCFS Chicago, Shalva, and Holocaust Community Services, providing a lifeline to people in crisis. JUF is Jaffe, JDC, and World Ort, delivering aid to Jews in need around the world, especially in our Israeli Partnership Together region of Kiryat Gat, Lachish, Shafir. JUF is the folks at ARC, Ezra, Meot Kitim, and the Jewish Food Service Collaborative, helping ensure no one goes to bed hungry. JUF is JCC Chicago, whose camps and preschools engage young people in online activities and then forge ways to safely bring them together, helping working parents while keeping kids' Jewish connections strong. JUF is our day schools, fueling the flames of Jewish learning and continuity without skipping a beat. JUF is the pop-up food pantries on Chicago's south and west sides we support in partnership with United Way. JUF is also our staff, who have been utterly tireless, serving our community with passion and purpose every day and many, many nights. Finally, JUF is you. You who are watching right now. We couldn't do any of this without you. You are our superpower, the unsung heroes of this pandemic. This is, without a doubt, the most generous and committed Jewish community in the world. The tens of thousands of you who support the JUF annual campaign make everything we do possible. We are in the midst of what may be the defining moment of our lifetime, and JUF has been able to step up because you stepped up. Now the world is forever changed, and so are we. We discovered we have deep reserves of strength that we didn't know we had, and we saw that our Jewish values will always provide us the roadmap forward. Jewish values aren't just what we do, they are who we are. If we ground ourselves in those values, there's no challenge we can't overcome, from a still unfolding pandemic to resurgent anti-Semitism and systemic racism. At a time when society is more divided than ever, the world needs our unity. At a time of great need, the world needs our generosity. At a time of great challenge, the world needs our spirit of innovation. One of the positives of the pandemic is that it forces us to think differently, and we can welcome that. It's an opportunity to leverage and deepen relationships, to be authentic. We can reimagine some of the ways we do business and make this moment into a positive for Jewish engagement. Studies have shown that young people ages 18 to 34 continue to struggle the most to find their emotional equilibrium during this pandemic. Many are finding solace in leaning into their Jewishness, a sense of community that's palpable when we feel alone, satisfying to our souls when we feel detached. We must stand behind that younger generation and also walk beside them. We must listen to one another, learn from one another, and inspire one another. Last year at this time, I said that we can't forget to talk about the joy as well as the oi in Jewish life. That's more true now than ever before. I'd like to share a joyful example from my own family. My 17-year-old daughter, Rachel, was so inspired by JUF's work during the pandemic that she wanted to play a more active role. Together with our JUF Teens Department, she created a week-long online fundraising event to engage teens across the metropolitan area. Each teen walked, ran, or biked the equivalent of 10 marathons in support of 2 JUF-funded hunger programs, Meot Hitim and Kiwi Kids. That's what can happen when we listen to young people, learn what animates them, and empower them. They make a difference in creative ways. If you want to get really excited, talk to some of Jewish Chicago's 20-something and 30-something young adults. They are brimming with passion and compassion. They bring fresh ideas to the table. They aren't apathetic or disconnected, just the opposite. They're already working to build communities in new ways, and we are listening. One look at this year's 36 under 36 honorees just blows me away. These amazing young people are teaching disadvantaged kids to code and seniors to use Zoom, leading weekly Talmud classes and hosting Yiddish podcasts, engaging their peers in Israel advocacy and building community, fighting for equity and diversity and against poverty and gun violence. They are doing great things, and they are just getting started. The future is in good hands. I'm incredibly optimistic about what that future will bring. Yeah, the challenges we face today are real, but so are the wonders. Remember the incredible news stories of people showing courage and kindness in response to natural disasters. Consider the magical moments when our nation united across time zones to cheer for our healthcare heroes. A year ago, who would have dreamed we'd be celebrating the normalization of relation between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain? Tomorrow evening, a new year begins. And just as we have done for thousands of years, we will gather. But this will be unprecedented, as many gatherings will be different. And we should be grateful to our rabbis and synagogues who have been immensely innovative throughout this pandemic to ensure that people can still feel that connection. Regardless of where you are actually sitting or standing as the great shofar is sounded, we as a community are summoned to answer the question of who in the coming year will be supported in their time of need and who will not. JUF will do everything in our power to make sure that whenever and wherever a community member is in need, we are there. JUF cannot fail because we have you. We cannot fail because JUF is you. We know we have the power to persevere because we are an eternal people. We are the people of miracles and the people of hope. We have been together for good, and we will be together for better. L'shana tova tikatevu. Wishing all of you a healthy, safe, and sweet new year.